afternoon. I think I've remembered to unmute. Celebration time for me. How are you all? I hope you're well. I am also good. Sorry we've had to be pushed back about half an hour, but I had to do a lesson for my year 8s, so that's why we're here now at 2 o'clock. If you're not here at 2 o'clock because you come back later, then whatever time it is, good day to you, sir. Good day to you, madam. Good day to you, squirrels. If you're a squirrel, then good luck with all the stuff we do today. We're going to be talking about robotics today. We're going to talk about instruction and programming, which is an element of maths that people don't normally think about as maths, but it is. So it's part of my specialism. I went to university and did a degree called computer science. So I've studied all sorts of different programming and different things like that. We're going to look at some sort of programming type things today. Let's see how we get on after the intro. Okay, so if we go straight into our starter task, it says which way is this triangle facing at the end of these instructions. So you're going to work through all these instructions and see where do you think it's facing at the end. While you're doing so, I'm going to say good morning, afternoon. Good afternoon it is to Alvy. Good afternoon to Isaac Sharp. And anyone else who joins live, please do use the chat. I have managed to realise that I can use my chat windows by closing things, having two windows open on the same screen. I can make sure I can, number one, keep track of whether my audio's working, but I can also keep track of what you're saying to me at the same time. So in that way, I can make sure that we are switched on and engaged together, which is good. How are you getting on with this starter then? What happens if you turn left, quarter turn, then turn left a quarter turn, then turn right 3/4 turn, then turn right quarter turn, then turn left half a turn? Well, let's have a look, shall we? Here is my pen. And my pen is going to do turn left a quarter turn, turn left quarter turn, turn right 3/4 turn, turn right a quarter turn, turn left half a turn, and it's back where it started. We'll end up facing the same way it's facing now. Because when we've got all these different turns going on, it's difficult to keep track of, but if you follow the instructions properly, it should still be facing the same way it's facing now. Let's go back to the instructions. So, what are we talking about today? We are talking about robotics, programming and instructions. So, as we can see, we need to be able to program robots. Now, I am going to be talking about robotics in the sense of, oh, I'm all over the place. There, look at me. I'm in the middle now. I've moved. Right. We're going to be talking about robotic in the sense that a robot, you can't talk to it the same way you can a small child or maybe even a dog. Sometimes dogs can learn. But robots, especially at the moment, learning robots are very expensive because they have to be very programmed. Even then, they can only learn what we teach them to learn. If I'm trying to say to a robot, go over there, it won't know what I mean. I need to know the specific commands that are going to work for the robot. And each command has to be programmed in and you have to teach it what it means and what it does. And you can't deviate. You can't accidentally use a different word or slightly different finish or not say all the things because it just won't work. And the robot will go, I do not know what you mean. It'll just be stuck. So therefore we have to make sure when we're writing our instructions, we're very careful what the keywords are. Let me show you what I mean by that. I have a robot. I have taught it 4 keywords. You must use these 4 words and only these 4 words. If you go say straight on, it won't know what you mean. Even if it says straightforward, it won't know what you mean because it only understands forward. Now it's got an S on it. It's actually forward without an S. I'll show you that in a second. Right makes it turn to the right as it is facing. So we would probably call that clockwise from top down. Left makes it turn left, and it doesn't actually move, it just spins on the spot. I've got a swivel chair so you can see what I'm talking about. If I say turn right, I just go turn right, turn right, turn right. So that is how we are going to control it. We've got forwards, right, left, and party is what we do. We tell the robot what to do when it gets to its destination. When you get to a destination, party, and the robot goes. Because obviously that's how the robots party. So that's what the robot does. So, this is how the forwards works. You say forwards and a number. And the number is how many squares you want the robot to move forwards. So if you say forwards 3, it will go forwards 3 squares. A bit like this. There you go. It's gone forwards 3 squares. That's all it does. It just moves in a straight line the way it's facing. Now this is the tricky thing. If you then say turn or right, it will then face a different way. So its forwards will move depending on where it's facing. So it always goes in the direction of the arrow. Now the thing we need to remember now is, as well as forwards and then moving, if we want to go over there, I'm going to need to turn first. But if I say right, this is all right. All of that has moved right. I've turned right all the way around. That's not particularly useful. I need to be able to say right and a distance. Now, we have learnt in primary school to use quarter turns, half turns and 3/4 turns. But our robot, we can't write fractions in. We can only put a number. So what we do instead is we have a special table. If we want to say quarter turn, we're going to just say 90. Right 90 is a quarter turn to the right. Half turns are 180 because it's 2 quarters. So half turns are 180. If you wanted to do a 3/4 turn, you could go 270. And a full turn is 360. So if I wanted to say, right, go forwards, turn fully round and then go forwards again, we would go forwards 2. And I would move 2 forwards. And then we would go right. So here we are. I would go forwards and I would go walk forwards. And then I go right 360. And I go all the way around without bumping my knee if possible. And then forwards again. So you can see how that would work. Oh, I've gone a bit blurry. It doesn't like me being that far away from the camera because it autofocuses. I noticed earlier, if I go over here, my camera starts to follow me. Because it goes, where is he? Where's he gone? Sometimes it does it. It depends which software I'm using. It's quite interesting. Don't know why I'm telling you in the video. So, how are we going to do this? Well, what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to program our robots to get to the end. So we're going to go left and a number and right and a number. And we're going to get to the end of a maze. These are going to start off as simple mazes. Now in the description below the video is a link to your own mazes where you write a set of instructions. I'm going to show you how we're going to do this, and that's what your challenge is, to write your own set of instructions to get your robots through the maze. So let's have a look and see how we might do that. Well, if I wanted to get this robot through the maze, I'm going to need to use a series of instructions. I'm going to have to list them all, but remember I can only use my keywords. So I need to put them, list them all one at a time. So my first instruction would be forward 2. That will move me forwards 2 squares. Then right 90. Now I've moved. I did have to try and program this using animations, but unfortunately I couldn't get the animations working cleanly and it looked messy, so I got rid of those. Right 90 will turn it so it's facing forwards again. Forward 2 will now move us into the new space, so it's now gone forwards 2 more. We're now going to have to turn left 90. Now forwards 2 more. Now left 90 again. Now forwards 2 more, and now we're at the end. Party! Because we always have to party at the end to show that we've finished. They're the only things the robot knows. Now, in your sheets, I have got a series of other ones of these. So there's different ones, some simpler ones and then some long ones which will need a nice long list of instructions. Make sure every line of instructions is a new instruction for the robot. Remember, you can only use forward and a number, right and a number, left and a number, and party. So they're the only instructions you're allowed. Once we do that, complete the robotic instructions. That's your worksheet. Don't forget the Taskmaster task for this week. Still waiting for some pictures, videos, drawings of surprises from a hat. What's the best surprise you can show me from a hat? I'm looking forward to seeing what surprises I get this weekend. I'll be so surprised. I'll be like, oh, I might jump out of my seat and then I'll be on the floor. So that's not particularly helpful, is it? Thank you very much for joining me. It's Not a long one today because you've got some instructions to go and write. I have been teaching you about how to do instructions and robotic instructions. Hopefully that's been interesting. What I'd like to do is see how you get on with it. Some of the lesson today is about you going away and coming up with your instructions, using that worksheet to come up with your own instructions. I'd love to see what you come up with. If you're watching live, then ciao. It's been lovely to work with you. I've been Mr. Harris. You haven't. Look after yourself and take care. If you're watching this another time, still goodbye. And I hope you'll come and have a look at some of the other videos on the channel. Take care. Goodbye.